Okay, hi, fellow human people, friends, and whoever's watching. I'm Wendy from Windows Light, and this is Medium Megan. And if you haven't watched any of our other videos, we practice doing trance together, and we figured that we would share the messages that come through for the collective, as well as give an example of what developing trance and working with spirit can look like as more and more people are opening up to the abilities that are naturally part of us, the connection to the energetic world around us. Um, our socials and things like that are in the description. Please feel free to ask questions that you might be wanting answers to for future videos. We're always open to that. Um, Today I'm going to be hitting trance first. I do edit the videos. There are pauses. So, because sometimes spirit will do some energy work before they start speaking, to attune us and stuff like that. So, and discernment, use discernment. We use discernment. We have practice, and we are discerning. We're very intentful about who we allow to blend deeply with us. I have a free ebook that, if you're developing, would be helpful. And we both do mentorships and help develop and stuff, all going to be in our as well as like Megan does evidential mediumship. So we are available to work with if whatever. And we would love to know if you got something from spirit, if this was helpful for you and stuff, that we always are happy to have that kind of feedback. Anyway, so I'm going to start trance first, and then we'll see what we do after that. Um, yeah.
While you do that, I guess I should say it's coming to
Mm-hmm.
my mind to say that anyone looking to develop trance or even just play around with it, it is extremely helpful to work with someone else that you trust and feel comfortable with. So for the longest time, I would really only work with Wendy because I feel safe working with her. And I know she has a lot of experience in these things, so it is very, very helpful to be working with someone you know and you trust, and just in general feel comfortable with.
They're deciding who is going to
Yeah,
come and
watching.
speak today. Um, Also, well, when if you watch videos, Megan and I, yes, I am blending. I know. Thank you. We quote look. So Megan just said she's looking there because um, it kind of is like remote viewing. We've developed a sense of remote viewing to us. We really are in the same room, able to see energetically around each other and things like that. So when you hear us saying, looking, or, we're using our intuitive abilities. It's not just sitting. We are developing many things. Uh, Spirit likes to do that. So even though one is in trance, the other one is, quote, working as well. Here's an example of why having someone that you trust is good. Um, I feel like this is a new person. I almost feel like he is someone you work with. What do you think?
Okay, we'll just start going with it. What do you feel? Um, how does he feel?
Yeah, different, right? He almost feels like it's definitely masculine energy. Um, he is saying that he is somehow related to Annie, like the same family.
Hmm.
Does this make sense?
Yes.
That's fine. Yes, you can come.
Yeah, I was gonna say allow him to come in.
Yes, I'm having to like expand more.
They are also very, very big on permission.
Yes, they are
So
very big on permission,
even with
especially
Annie, I have to give her permission every single time.
which not everybody I work with is as big on permission. Not that they're not of love, but there's prior agreements with them. He is new, so he needs more reassurance.
Yeah, it just seems to be that's just the way that this particular group is. Um, but I can feel him.
We can speak now.
Yes, I can see. This is just a different than Wendy's typical energy that she blends with.
This is different than she usually channels or works with.
Yes, this is not a
Normal experience for her.
hmm and also to me, this feels very different than even the type of energy she channels for healings. This doesn't feel as much like a healing type of energy.
No, not
hmm
healing.
This is more, it feels more like of informational type of energy than healing work. Okay.
Yes, you are recording, specifically wanting information. This goes with your intent.
Yes, that makes sense. Um, is this why you have come in today?
Yes.
Yes. Um, Part of that also feels funny to me because I feel like if I started channeling, that means Annie probably would have come in to answer these types of questions. So,
Yes, she would like to come sometime. You
yes.
may call me Derick because you want to know a name.
Yes, it's just easier for us to refer to you by a name, even if it's not your name. It's just easier for us to identify you.
Yes, you may call me Derick. I have worked with other channelers before.
Hmm. You have been around me before, but I don't think I was aware of you at the time.
Yes, I am stand beside Annie. You did also help me learn. And I have tried with a couple other mediums or someone's that you call mediums, but I was not well received. They were afraid.
Yes. Well, you're, at least in my perception, that sort of like Arcturian energy can feel very intense. And even as I perceived you, you felt less, I guess I will say, like the way I perceive it was less human-like. So it can feel really, I guess, scary to us.
Yes, it is alien. My structure is alien. This, she says, body, suit, robot suit. She is, it is alien. I also have denser energy than her healing or
Yes.
some of her other guides. That does not mean that I am not of love, but that I am a denser energy. And even compared to your human in spirit consciousnesses that you work with to give these messages from those human consciousnesses to the ones still in the body evidential, she is saying.
Mm-hmm.
I have still higher vibration but denser energy than them. You see the difference,
Yes.
you perceive the difference. Yes.
I suppose I'm just comparing you to my experiences with Annie.
Yes.
But yes, it does feel very different and it is more intense than doing
Yes.
an evidential reading. Yes.
Just because the energy is not light and fluffy, it is more dense, but that does not mean that the frequency is shifted or the frequency is not of a higher frequency.
So even though I'm perceive the Arcturian energy, specifically Annie, but that's probably because of our relationship, the way I'm perceiving you is a lot more energy in the mental. I'm perceiving you with like a really big brain, and you have a lot of mental energy. Is this because of, I guess, a telepathic connection, or is just a part of your structure and how you work?
That is a good question. I will see how to answer that in a way that you will understand. So you know that the aura has different layers. I am showing. So there is the layer close to the body. You say that it feels like a mental energy and telepathic. So for her, the way she perceives this information would be that I only am communicating with the mental band of the human aura. But that is not the case because this is a blendedness of, I'm not sure how to perceive this because I'm not perceive, but she is busy perceiving the energy in her aura. And this is sensations are distracting.
That's all right. So I'm basically what I'm saying is that even if I'm looking at someone else's or like another human's aura, if they happen to be a very logical, intelligent person that uses a lot of mental energy, I may perceive them as having a lot of mental energy or a large brain, even like as a person. And that's how I'm perceiving you is someone with a lot of mental energy. So I guess part of me was just curious because again, I'm comparing my
Mm, yes, yes, I see why you would say that because I am not my emotional bandwidth
yes.
is considered fairly neutral. So yes, there are some who come and have a lot of intense love feelings and a lot of other intense emotional fluctuations, whereas I do not.
Right. You feel to
Yes,
me very mathematical, very
even Annie has more of a joy range. That is not to say that I do not become happy per se, or that this is not an exciting thing, but that not that they don't matter, but they're not particularly important for my experience.
right. I can see that. Again, just comparing you to Annie, because she feels like that, but I think also because of our relationship, I feel very intense joy from her. And for you, I'm noticing you of just being very um,
Eh,
even.
Yes, well, even you can, I am creating, if you can feel this, a slight variation into the joy spectrum. And I am feeling that more joy of the emotion.
It's really interesting that you've come in today after we were, just her and I were talking about different scientific topics and curiosity about technologies and things like that. But we also had a lot of discussion about our own emotions and different things coming up. So I find it really interesting that you're coming in today. Um,
Yes, as in why am I coming in? What information am I here to talk about?
yes, is there something I would be interested to know what your perspective is on the human emotion then?
The human emotion is something that I took some time to have some of the experience of. You cannot be of love without having love. Our collective group had that part of the evolution. We just really are not a fan of this sadness, this all these. I will make this that is those emotions that you humans are always experiencing. Not always, but you seem to hang out in them. That is not appealing to us. We choose not to have those experiences anymore. We see, though, how you are, that you are having those experiences, and we are sad for you. If we were to choose to be sad, that is part of why we're here and why my brothers and sisters for a term assist that we don't want you to have to have those emotions, that you can choose to embrace more of the good love, joy, love emotions. We do not wish to have the experiences of those emotions anymore. You do, and that is fine. We see that and wish to help you.
Well, yes, you're not the first one that I've heard that just don't have them the way we do. I've even heard of some that eventually evolved out of their own emotions. So to to them, humans seem like a big mess of emotions.
Yes, yes, there's very kind of confusing in some ways. We don't totally understand what they're doing, why they're choosing. But we also see that some have no idea of any of their power choice or what they wish to have happen. We're very curious about what will unfold for humans, and that I have watched you and Annie, and she has learned a lot of interesting things. And this experience right now is good. I like it because I am able to choose to feel joy, happy, gratitude for this experience to sit here with you. But I do not choose to feel sad, shame, these other things that you feel. But this vessel that I am in has these frequencies and capabilities or whatever, if I choose to have the experience of those well in this vessel, I could, but I do not wish to. And so I'm not going to.
Right. That is really interesting to hear that you've observed me with Annie. From your perspective, how do you see her and I's relationship? And how do you see how it works for her?
The image that I'm showing or perceiving or giving, there's an image here of two girls with their heads together, giggling in joy. This is how I perceive you. Annie is just like an extension of you, but bigger, going out into the sky. When she says that you guys are sisters, this is a very accurate description.
Hmm. Thank you. That's very helpful to see another perspective and also to be validated. That's typically what I see in my mind when I'm connecting with her, is that we're putting our heads together and becoming one head, basically.
Yes, there is so much joy in the contact. That was actually something I'm showing me looking very closely at the point of connection, the blending process of one going into the other and the frequencies matching enough for you to do that. Is her head that hurts more? There. She was having pain in her neck. It is from the energy discoherence, or yes, that is fine. She knew at the beginning. The point, the way of blending was very fascinating to watch. I did study it very closely. Also, I visited you in a dream.
That sounds kind of familiar. Oh, I think I know the dream you're talking about.
Yes, I'm showing a big room.
Oh, that could be a couple different dreams. Um,
That is okay. You have fun in your dreams.
yes. And I think I know what you're talking about.
The scientific process or experience, figuring things out. You were assisting us in figuring out.
What was I helping you figure out?
And there is something interesting happening with the energy. There was shown a disc at first. There's a weird thing happening with the blending right now. People, there was shown a disc, and then now there's a sensation of moving up and down like a scanning of the energy. And I want to say subtle energy shifting, figuring out the fine tuning of the frequencies. That is what you're helping us with so that we can more easily dial in.
Yes, that feels right. I feel like I've done that a few different times.
You are not the
Yes.
only one who has helped us in this way. We appreciate your help.
Yes, I do remember some of these occasions, because I feel like I've also received help from you during these times.
Yes, there's an experience right now of my energy becoming less dense. I'm not sure if it's because, or if she, or something.
Well, right now, to me, what I'm sensing is just less energy in the room. I don't know, my way of saying it would be the room feels more tired.
That could be. The shift happened shortly after we moved, and the neck was pain, and the neck is not pain. And she's just distracted by the shift in the energy.
Yes. And there was a lot of chat today and healing work done today. So I wonder if this is just lessening of energy too.
Yes, I still feel like there's good connection and unfiltered communication.
Okay. Well, then I'll ask a couple more things, because I think that it's interesting that I perceive you as being very mental, very intelligent, but also very neutral.
Yes, neutral is a good description.
And not only that, but what comes to mind for you is that you're also very, very clear-minded in comparison to like humans in general. I mean, even the very clear-minded human. But do you think that has anything to do with your, I guess I'll say like lack of emotion?
Yes, absolutely. The saying of emotion and flowing energy. In some ways, my energy is stagnant in the sense that my range is less than some. I have a thin band of frequency that I operate in.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there needed to be more fine tuning and why she had to do so much adjusting to allow me in because some of her other that come in isn't to say that their band is bigger than mine, but in a way it is. Hmm. Because I am more neutral, it is. But the other ones, yes. The other ones that work, I feel like the blending may be slipping now. But if you think of each person that you work with as a solid number, 1, 2, 3, 4, I am like a 0.5 and I operate in between 1 and 1.5 only. Whereas some of the other ones will operate in between 1 and 2. They can be tuned into at 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, the next number. But I am only at 0.5 per se. That is how I would describe the limit of band of the frequency.
So it's very similar to us saying like turning a dial to change radio stations.
Yes.
And you just have a slimmer, I guess, opening for that radio station.
Yes.
So for for us as people that are developing trance or doing anything like that, um, would do we just have easier times with the type of energy that we resonate with? Like, for example, I may resonate with a different band than Wendy. So we may, have an
And
easier
you,
time with certain others.
yes, you guys have had this conversation, a similar, Annie has talked to you about this before, I believe, a similar conversation topic, in that you have had work done on you to be able to more easily work the particular frequency within a particular band.
Hmm.
And the more comfortable and safe in a particular band or frequency, it could be that you practice with 2.5 and 3.7 and 1.2. And these are the frequencies that you're most comfortable with and that you've practiced to feel safe with. You can feel equally safe with 1 or 2 points, maybe above or below those bands that you're 100% comfortable with. But outside of that, it becomes a little bit more activating on your system or scary or unsure and needs to be approached with more curiosity and discernment. That is where discernment comes in. That is where practice and trust with us comes in.
I see. Hmm. Well, speaking of your, I guess I'm just really interested in, I feel like I've asked Annie before, someone's asked Annie of how can you, let me figure out how to say this. Again, seeing how I can see that you are very neutral and clear-minded. And just it seems like that's just your structure. That's just the way that you are. How do you deal with unwanted or negative thought patterns? Because as a lot of humans seem to think that that's just something that we have or that we have to medicate to go away, or we're not as in control of our own like thought patterns in our minds.
Yes. So you are receivers. So part of it takes discipline to notice what you're receiving, reject, accept the experience or what is being received and broadcasted. There is people who talk about these things, I believe. I'm seeing.
Yes.
So it is about choice of your experience. What are you wanting to experience? What are you allowing to experience? What did you even come there as a higher being? You, for example, right? What did you even come there to experience? Maybe there are some of these negative, you say, thought patterns that are frequency that you are came there to experience. And that when you have that experience, then you're achieved your goal of the experience. And then it's more easy to break the experience pattern. It comes back to being present, but it's all information is frequencies. All emotions are just dials, number, and you're a receiver. As you gain, and people gain, and humans in general gain in consciousness, more control of the dial and reception, and more control of the receiver, the energetic body that you have, because you're able to experience it, and the consciousness experiencing gives power, this empowerment adds strength to the broadcast that you're broadcasting as well as receiving. So when people are saying that when you do your practice of mediumship, that you protect yourself by bringing in love, bringing in light, there's truth to this, in that you're setting what signals you're receiving. But most of the time, people do not have this intent. They do not have this. And so they're just receiving all the signals. And some beings, discernment, send signals, archons, these other beings, or even just random thought forms from other humans are being received without conscious knowledge or awareness. And so, yes, you see where this is going.
Yes.
I don't feel the need to really elaborate anymore on that.
I understand what you're saying. That's probably something that we'll go more into again. I was just curious at your point of view. Mm.
Mm. Because we all can see, all of us who are in the non-body realm, and I have my frequency here, yes. But that does not mean that if I choose to, I can perceive the thought forms or the causes of these negative loops, as you call them. I just choose to not tune into them. My signal is stronger than them. And that is what humans are becoming as they gain an awareness, as they take their power.
Right. We're learning that. There are a lot of people talking about things like that.
Yes. It is interesting.
Before before we end up closing this, I wanted to ask you if there was anything specific you wanted to come in and say, or anything like that.
No, I partly came for the experience of this blending that I have been studying, partly for her experience. She was missing a bandwidth, and now she has it.
I see. Yeah, that was my feeling, was that this was more for experience rather than for you to come in and give us a
And
lecture today.
speak. Yes.
Mm.
Well, really, how much more is there to say?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure that,
No, my perspective is that it's just like beating a horse. You'll get it or you won't. But not everyone will watch all of your videos. And so, even if different ones of us are coming in and saying very similar things in a slightly different way, the person who is watching the video with me in it needed to see what I have to say, needed to see what the other ones before have spoken and the ones to come have spoken. So, yes, I came for the experience here, and for her, and for you, and for them, and more will come for more experiences. And yes, maybe she maybe thinks it is beating a horse, but even her own consciousness from sitting has been expanded. And yes, yours as well. There's things happening there for you to see.
Right. Well, that's true. That would be, I didn't really think about that, but I will probably set an intention to bring Annie in on these so that I'm bringing in different energies as well. Plus, it's fun to bring her in.
Yes, she would like to come in, and also her coming is a demonstration, so people will contact you to talk to her
I see. Right.
on one-on-one. You know that Annie is for one-on-one work and the others is for collective. And so having one at least demonstration where people can meet Annie so they may know her and would like to work and have Annie work with them.
Yes, that's kind of what I
You're
picked up on was that Annie
not,
is
yeah.
not a group speaker. She prefers to come in and work with people individually.
Yes.
So,
It is partly that you will be needing to develop a feeling of safety to have Annie come in and speak with someone who is not necessarily, say, a medium. There is a questionnaire or a form that you can have to like screen out people for a process for you to feel safe. Even having a 10-minute consultation for you to connect to the sitter's energy to know whether you would feel safe to have Annie come in with that sitter. Maybe an idea that you want to implement. But until you feel safe having Annie and that sitter only, but Annie would still like to come. And it will take time for these videos to gain traction. There is no rush.
no, there really is no rush. This has just been fun. It's not
Yes, your
business.
guys' deeper intent is fun and healing and just enjoying the journey, which is very beautiful. And we love that very much. And it is very fortunate to be part of your journey. We are very grateful. I am very grateful. Yes, I can tell that it is time to go. Thank
Yes, I'm
you.
sorry, but I have to run out of here very soon. So,
Yes, very much. Thank you very much for coming and allowing this process. I may take a minute to, oh, there we go. That's a very strange. That was different.
yes, that was very interesting.
That was a different experience for me for sure. I'm just gonna, we'll do like a closeout of the video here for the people and the video recordingness of, hey, thank you viewers for watching. Will I come back here? We won't, I'm just gonna probably stop the video for the viewers as I come back. More to myself here. Thank you, Megan, for my turn this time. Are you having a turn today?
No,
Or are
I
you
actually really
time?
have to go.
Yeah, we have a lot of, just for the viewers, we had a lot of friend chat time prior
Yeah.
to our thing today, but sometimes that happens. So
But I
yeah,
am looking and
thank
yeah,
you.
right.
Yeah, no, that's great. So thank you, viewers. Come back and watch other videos or previous ones or leave comments and all those kinds of things. Thank you.
Do it up.